Let's go, get in here. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our line. 30 minutes for the rest of our line. That's our bad first down. It ain't happening. We get the ball. I promise you one thing. We're going to hit somebody and we're taking downfield for a touchdown. I guarantee you that. Look at me. Look at me. Let's go. We got 30 minutes. Let's go. For the rest of our line. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. Put the ball on the back. We got it. Let's go.
And welcome everybody to another episode of DC Sports Daily. This is your host Corey Thesson alongside Jack Maestri.
Greetings.
We're coming to you guys while watching the Nats game. We got a couple of things about the Nats to cover tonight, and going to go into some whiz talk and get back to the Cavaliers and Celtics trade. Other than that, not a whole lot to talk about. Just
Public service announcement.
Quite a lot to talk about.
So we're not recording at the studio desk where we normally record. We are sitting in recliners in front of the giant TV.
It's Friday.
Yeah, it's a Friday, laid back. But so just so you know, if you hear any of these sounds,
it's because we're in leather recliners.
Yeah, it's because one of us had an itch that we needed to scratch. So just, you've been warned, okay? If you hear that, you know why.
So you wanted to go ahead and get into a little...
Oh, did the Nats play last night?
Recap of the...
Yeah, I know. I watched the whole thing and then I had to get up crazy early.
I was so tired last night. I was ready for bed.
So upset.
First things first, good series win, 2 out of 3 against Houston, which is awesome.
Yeah, I forgot we won the game.
It only took 11 innings last night, but it was a spectacular series, besides Game 2, which we lost late. So it was a pretty good game, that game too, to be honest. But I like the thought of seeing them in the World Series. I think it would be an awesome series overall.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I know you want to hit a little bit on the Dusty situation last night that led to 11 innings.
Yeah, so, hey, have you ever been doing something and it's working really well? Like, I don't know, you played basketball. You ever, fix something in your shot or do something in your shot, like a shot thought, or do something with your golf game and it's just working and it's just everything.
Superstition, everything.
You're just doing that thing and it's working.
Yeah. And you change it?
You ever change it for no reason at all?
Yep. No.
I
would never do that.
You would never do that. Well, Dusty, I love you. Don't get me wrong. Nobody come after me saying that I don't like Dusty or that I'm being too hard on him and that it's unfair and that the game didn't matter, so why am I annoyed? It's just, look, you brought these guys in to do something. You decided what they were going to do. You brought Kinsler in and decided that he was going to be the 7th inning guy.
Right.
Now he's the 8th inning guy because Madsen's hurt, which we will talk about. But why are you all of a sudden you're saying, oh, I have this guy, Sean Doolittle, who has saved 12 in a row.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try, why not? Just, to hell with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put him in the 8th. And then I'm going to put Kinsler in the 9th. Probably won't mess with him at all, right? I guess the reasoning was the matchups. There were a lot of lefties due up in the 8th, and righties due up in the 9th. A lot of talk on Twitter about, he's playing matchups. Like, if it had worked out, you wouldn't be criticizing him. No, I would still be criticizing him, even if they had both pitched perfect frames.
Right.
Because that reasoning if that's how they're thinking, then they need to re-examine how they manage games and how they manage matchups, because Kinsler, as I've said 100,000 billion freaking times, has reverse splits. A reminder for what reverse splits means is that he is a right-handed pitcher who is more effective against left-handed hitters. Not the traditional righty tough on righties, lefty tough on lefties guy. He is a right-hander who is tougher on lefties than he is on righties. Right-handed batters are hitting like 290 off of him this year.
Yeah.
Lefties are hitting 214. I made both of those stats up, but I guarantee if you look them up, they're going to be close, and you're going to admire me for my ability to, just take that off the top of my head. And then if you're going to say, okay, yeah, well, but I didn't want Doolittle facing all those righties. If this dude is your closer, he's going to have to face righties. And guess what? He has faced righties. And guess what? He's gotten them out.
Right.
He busts them up and in with that freaking 94 mile per hour old down country home fastball stuff. This is an explicit episode. He busts them inside with that shit, and then they strike them out.
I was about to touch on this real quick, and I'll let you get back to it. But the biggest crock of shit I hear about this is the whole Dusty wants Kinsler to get 30 saves. It's 2 saves. We're playing some of the worst teams in baseball the next couple weeks. No more interleague play. No more potential World Series. Why waste it last night?
That quote when he said that, he said that he would likely do it in a game where Doolittle's unavailable.
Right, which would make sense.
Yeah,
give him a complete day off. Don't use him in the 8th and throw off his mojo.
Yeah.
And then he said today in pregame, I'm not scared to continue to do this.
Yeah, it's like,
why the hell?
Okay, why?
You just saw it didn't work. And I know I'm sure it's part of Kinsler's contract to get 30 saves. He gets an extra $1 million or something. So you're looking out for your player. But exactly. The point of just don't do that.
Yeah, I mean.
And why?
Yes. The Houston Astros are one of the best offensive teams in the league. If he had put Kinsler in the 8th and Doolittle on the 9th, could they still have blown the save? Yeah, absolutely. But it now we'll never know. Like, that was working so well. And now they had so much good mojo going. Right. They had so much momentum. Now all of a sudden, they're going to be
right. Say we come back in this 1-run game against the Mets tonight, and we go up 2-1, and we go back to what it was working, and then it doesn't work. Oh. Then that's on Dusty.
Yeah.
That's on Dusty for totally screwing it up. Another thing from last night. I don't know if you were done with your rant.
I would just like to point out Adrian Sanchez kind of looks like a mini Wilson Ramos.
I like that. And when I saw his Players Weekend jersey, I thought it said El Chapo. I was really loving it.
El Chamo?
Yeah, something like that. Why did we... So the supposed guy that we wanted to get in high leverage situations, Joe Blanton, why was he not to be seen last night? Why did we throw Sammy Solis in the 11th? Why did we throw...
I'm going to guess... He
had a day off the night before.
Yeah, but he had to pick and choose because we do have 4 games in 3 days immediately after, which... That's the next thing. Are you good on that topic there?
Fine.
Yeah. What is up with this schedule? We've gotten screwed. Yeah, a couple of times this year. This is insane.
Yeah, MLB's got to do a better job in the offseason.
You cannot have an 8:00 game, 8:00 Eastern start time, and then have a 7:00 start time the next day. Like,
they got in at 5 a.m. I think,
with the travel in between. They got in at 6 a.m.
Unbelievable. That means they didn't get to sleep until 8, and they're expected to be at the ballpark by 4 to get ready for the... No.
I mean, you're just killing the team.
I saw Bryce Harper tweeted this morning, great scheduling again, with a thumbs up.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And that's not the first time it happened to us. I know in our very first episode we discussed it.
Bryce likes posting about it.
Yeah, he does. But it's a fair point. I mean...
he's not playing. Deal with it.
Yeah. But FP was saying early on, I don't know if you were still
I was probably listening on the radio.
He said it's not about getting sleep. They don't care. They get treated like royalty. They come home late and sleep. But it's about reaction times. When you're feeling slow and you're seeing a guy like DeGrom throwing 100 miles an hour at your head, that becomes player safety. It's more that than anything. And I totally agree with FP for once in my entire life.
I agree with him more often than I like.
Yeah.
Actually. He makes such good points sometimes, but then he'll take the smallest thing, like, Zimmerman's hands are 3 inches lower than where they were in his last at-bat, which means that he must be focusing on increasing his launch angle exactly 2.3 degrees, which would lead that line drive that he hit last time to be a 427. Yeah, and then the next time he comes... Oh, man, it kills me. FP, I love you, bud. I know you're listening, but, maybe tone down the analysis. Like, you're at, like, a 12 right now out of 10 tone it down to like a 9.5 of how much you analyze everything and compare it to your own playing career, which was a great.
Murph sleeve, thank you for Jesus.
Everybody has little thank you patches on their Players Weekend jerseys. That's the best one I've seen so far. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, man.
I know I wanted to touch base on the returning players we're about to get. Speaking of that, with our lineup tonight, we have more opening day starters in Potomac tonight than we do on our own MLB team.
Yeah, here's the list. Here's the complete
impressive
list of opening day starters that are playing tonight for the Nats. Daniel Murphy. And here's the complete list of opening day starters that are playing for the Peanuts. It's going to be Jason Worth and Trey Turner. So they have twice as many, actually.
It's pretty wild. And somehow we still managed to compete in a game like this against DeGrom. Doesn't make any sense to me. But I kind of wanted to ask you a question about how do you think having Jason Worth and Trey Turner, guys like that who are obviously looking to come back and start, how do you think it affects players? I know I pointed it out to you last night.
You did.
Defense specifically.
So, and I asked you, I figured we should look into just an easy way to maybe get a little read on it. And again, the small sample size.
Super small.
Baseball's a streaky game anyway. This is literally just a stab in the dark. This is pulling an FP, actually. This is absolutely pulling an FP.
A knee-jerk reaction.
But to look into what Wilmer's line has been since Trey Turner started his rehab assignment.
Which is on Monday, the 21st, I believe it was. Defo, prior to this game, he already got a hit in tonight's game. 2 for 11 with 5 strikeouts. And he doesn't really, to me, strike out that much. I don't think it's really a big deal. But he's got to be feeling it. I mean, watching him last night in Houston, I think he went 1 for 5. But it just seemed to me that he was looking a little like he was under pressure or
I think
some sort of, he's playing tight, I think.
Yeah, and I think, as a player, I know a lot of players completely tune out media buzz and stuff like that, but you got to, if he's thinking just like fans are thinking, he's saying, I have a legitimate shot to be a platoon starter right now.
He should be.
And I think he's putting a lot of pressure on himself. Defoe is the kind of guy who plays best when he's just playing free and easy.
Loose. Because, and
everybody's better that way.
Right. In the past, when he was called up, he never played well.
No, because he was trying to stay around.
Right. He started his career, I think, 0 for 50 or something like that without getting hit.
I still don't think.
FP says that all the time.
I still don't think.
We can find that out.
I don't think so.
It's an MLB record.
I think you're wrong.
Okay.
I think you were 100% wrong.
Okay. Well, you can look it up right now if you wanted to.
No, I'm not going to do
figure
that.
out that I'm right because you don't want to admit that I'm right.
No, you were 100% wrong, and I'm going to go ahead and make that law.
Okay. But yeah, so I think since Trey Turner went on the DL though, July 30th or whenever he did.
Yeah.
Defoe was batting .350, so every last ounce of him should get a platoon start. I mean, even if it's in left field. I don't think Jason Worth should get a start when he comes back. Howie Kendrick has just shown that he's one of our best hitters on our team, and all he does is play decent left field. Jason Worth does not play decent left field anymore. I mean, balls that routine balls he'll get to. Some tough plays he gets to.
I don't know. He plays pretty fun
left
slow.
field.
Yeah, he's just slow. Yeah, and he doesn't have the arm that he used to.
Now, with that being said, Jason Worth always, coming off DL stints, always plays really well. And I know
is that a thing?
He always plays really well. I mean, I know a couple years ago, in 2014 or 2012, the stint where he went on the DL for his wrist, he came back and hit that walk-off right away against Miami in the rain. And FP always talks about that too. I'm sure he'll touch on it when Jason Worth comes back. I know Jason Worth has had a double tonight, which is good to see. We want extra base hits from that guy and work the count. He's always going to see pitches. But I just don't think...
You think we'll see any of Larry leadoff?
I would love it, but Trey Turner will get that spot if he starts. Anybody but Andrew Stevenson, which he's leading off tonight. But Howie Kendrick deserves every chance to start the rest of the year, in my opinion.
I agree. 100% agree. Well, the good news is he can play pretty much every position on the field, so
he'll find a way.
Yeah,